Hi guys, Mrs. Tinsley here, and let's talk a little bit about time. But before we do that, let's build a clock. What do we need to add? We need numbers, an hour hand, a minute hand, and a second hand. Let's look at one that's already built. Here is one that's already built. This has a second hand on it. Notice it is the longest hand. Then there's the minute hand, the second longest, and the shortest hand on the clock is the hour hand, and all around are your numbers. So let's look at a clock in action. What time is on this clock? Notice the second hand goes the fastest. And if we look here, we've got the minute hand on the 12 and the hour hand on the 9, and it is exactly 9 o'clock. Now sometimes using time, we have a word problem that we have to solve. Let's look at this one here. It says we spend 30 minutes at lunch, 20 minutes at recess, and 30 minutes during the morning getting prepared for the day, like sharpening our pencils or eating breakfast. How many minutes do we spend at school when we're not engaged in instruction? Well, we need to think a little bit about time. And let's remember that there are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, and 7 days a week. And to remember that, I have a cute little song. So let's listen for a minute.
A second is the length of this song. A minute is the length of this song. And if you listen to it 60 times, you'll have listened an hour long. A second is the length of this pop. A minute is 60 of them non-stop. 60 minutes is an hour, that's way more pops. You get the idea. We can go ahead and stop the pops. The day has 24 hours, and I'm sure that you would agree. That's a lot easier to remember than however many seconds that would be. 60 seconds a minute, 60 minutes an hour, and 24 hours a day. Is that too tough for us to learn? No way. 60 seconds a minute, 60 minutes an hour, 24 hours a day. Is that too tough for us to learn? No way.
Now that was fun. Now, remembering that song, let's go on with our question. There were 30 minutes of lunch, 20 minutes of recess, and 30 minutes of prep time. Now we can add it 30 plus 20 plus 30 and get 80 minutes. Or we can group it if we want to know how many hours and group the two 30 minutes and get 60, which equals 1 hour, and then have 20 minutes left over. So we are 1 hour and 20 minutes not engaged in instruction. Let's go on to a different problem. We spend 50 minutes working on writing, 75 minutes working on math, 50 minutes working on science or social studies, and 2 hours and 50 minutes for language arts. How much time do we spend at school when we are engaged in instruction? Now this number line is a little more intricate because there's more numbers. So we have 50 minutes in writing, 75 minutes in math, 50 minutes either in science or social studies, 2 hours in language arts, and 15 minutes. So what I did here is I took the 2 hours and 50 minutes and I broke the 2 hours down to 120 minutes. So everything was in minutes. And then I took the 250 minutes and added them together and got 100 minutes. And I took the 75 minutes from math and the extra 50 minutes from language arts and made 125 minutes. So now they're all in minutes. So I've got 100 plus 120 plus 125 and got 345 minutes. Now let's say I wanted to switch those to hours. So I took an hour out each time. I started with my 345 minutes and I took an hour out. And I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours out and I still had 45 minutes left. So the total time was 5 hours and 45 minutes that we are engaged in instruction. Another way I could have looked at it is I could have taken 345 and taken 60 minutes out to get my hours. And when I do that, I do 345 divided by 60, I get 5. 5 times 60 is 300. I subtract, I get 45 minutes left. That again gives us that 345 minutes, or 5 hours and 45 minutes. Thanks, guys. I hope that helped you a little bit with time.